As a transgender woman who at one point was part of the long-haired men community, I'd like to share my experiences in both. So before I took a 3-year break from YouTube or any kind of videos, someone left a comment on one of my videos, one of the last videos I ever did on my main channel. I remember you were just a guy with long hair. I thought you were a rocker type. So I thought you were just into having longer hair and there was nothing more to it. But I feel like all along it was just a way to convince yourself and everyone else that you're a woman, which is obviously the case now. But it makes me wonder, was the long hair thing originally just an interest in having long hair? Because that was my impression before. Or was it really just a start of transitioning? Forgive me if I sound ignorant, but I'm asking out of genuine curiosity. So in October 2011, which was 6 months after I started my YouTube in April 2011, I made a separate account called G's Hair Tips that specifically pertained to men growing their hair out. And this was after I had achieved 14 and a half months of hair growth. So the first time I grew my hair out, I was 14 years old, and I grew that until I was 17, and a month before I turned 18, which was in August of 2013. In the months leading up to my haircut, my family had convinced me that I had a severe scalp condition, that I had sores on my head that would not ever heal, that I had some sort of scalp psoriasis, and that my hair was too damaged to continue having it the length that it was. And they had convinced me well over that the only way to repair this damage was to buzz my head. And while my younger self should have seen through this, she was very impressionable, I should say. And my family was very controlling and they never saw the good in me. But in cutting my hair off, I was hoping to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. For 2 to 2.5 out of the 3 years that I had my long hair, I was sporting a very androgynous look. And I figured if I buzzed my hair down to almost nothing, I would be able to silence those thoughts, especially since I was turning 18 the next month. I figured it was just a stage in my life and that stage was over. But instead, this ended up being just the surface. And since I had already beat and pushed down my thoughts of my sexuality in early 2011 by simply ignoring the classmate that I was having a sex-only relationship with when I was 15. I was also hiding a lot behind my hair in ways that I didn't understand until a year later when I was 19 and diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And that became the reason that I cut my hair again in February 2015. I had convinced myself, no doubt because my family had a hold on me and it kind of just integrated into my persona. I believed that I could not fix my hair without cutting it all off again.
But with the state of my hair, I'm gonna have to go extremely short to be able to start over. So with that being said, it's gonna be like buzz cut length.
I should have just gotten a combination of split ends, face framing, layers, all that. And I could have very easily avoided the heartbreak days after I cut my hair the second time. When I was in high school, the only time I would ever put my hair back into a ponytail would be lab days in chemistry. I didn't even put my hair back for gym class. But the way I was feeling on that first chemistry lab day, I felt very seen, very vulnerable. I felt with all my heart when I had my hair back, I was being seen as a teenage girl. And in shaving my hair down, it allowed me to not have to put my hair back when I was living in Chicago. And I associated safety with short hair. Coming from a town that has about 7,000 people, and I expected the bullying and the teasing to continue. And I desperately wanted that to stop. And I didn't recognize yet that hair in itself is a very artistic part of someone who's creative. I went to one of the most prestigious art universities in the entire country, the School of the Art Institute of Chicago.
And that is the School of the Art Institute of Chicago.
I also didn't know at the time that I had something called Klinefelters syndrome. So I have XXY chromosomes. I didn't know that. I had very low testosterone levels, which resulted in me having a very slow and actually not complete first male puberty. And I've also never had the ability to reproduce and not shaving for the first time until August of 2013 when I was 17, almost 18. So the only thing that I knew in high school was that I was extremely behind the boys. It didn't help that I was the youngest in my class either.
I was always really small though. I mean, I didn't even reach 5 foot until the end of my 8th grade year.
And so something that I considered to be a curse in high school turned out to be a blessing when I came out as a trans woman 2 years later in 2015. I hung out with all the stoners and all the metalheads in high school. One of them got a haircut in October 2012. He had been paid $50 to get that cut, and he shaved it clean. And it was at that moment that I realized that I was very different from a stereotypical boy at that point. I knew that I was very different. And the amount of comments I would get, whether that would be someone behind their keyboard, Facebook, or onto YouTube, saying horrible things about my hair, or even in real life. People hated my hair. People hated me because of my hair. Some of them were insisting that my hair could not be real and that it had to be a wig. Now, there was a good chunk who did like my hair. I remember getting one comment that stood out to me so much because they equated me to Dylan Klebold, who was the person in charge of Columbine, the school shooting in 1999. Some people were even watching my videos and not even seeing me as a guy. They were seeing me as some sort of very ugly woman or a grandma. The amount of abuse that I was getting just for having long hair as a guy, it seemed like I had a target on my back at all times. So being who I am now, having a target on my back even more now, is not a new thing to me. I'm used to people staring and being uncomfortable. I'm used to that. And it was something that I flat out refused to let go until, of course, my family said this and that, and then I folded right away. And I went as far as making video after video saying to my audience, don't cut your hair, do not cut it.
Don't cut your hair. Don't do it.
And yet, I still did it. I was a part of several long-haired men's group on both Facebook and YouTube. And over the years, I created many, many friends. I probably have 25 or 30 people on my friends list right now that are from those groups. And out of those people, I know 4 people who have since transitioned to female, who are trans women, who started out as just men with long hair, like I started out. And so wrapping things up, I want to ask 2 things of the viewers of this video. 1, if you are seeing this video and you are on my Hair Tips channel, feel like you deserve a reason for my disappearance and everything that went along with that. My channel name is going to be on the screen and it's going to be in the description. And question 2, do I have any people that are watching on here that are like myself, who started out having long hair as what they believe to be a guy, and at some point figured out that it was more than that? It was more than just hair. You fit that criteria? Just let me know, because I want to know how true this is, because it seems like it's very common. And that's all for this video, my wonderful gals, guys, and everybody in between. And until next time, keep it casually authentic. My name is Andrea. Bye.